When I liken boxing to Aristotle's drama and Jacob wrestling with the angel and to poetry, I don't for a minute want to suggest that boxing should be used as a metaphor. I also don't want to ever forget that to watch boxing is always a meditation on cruelty. And again, JCO says it better for me. I have another quote I want to share. All boxing fans, however accustomed to the sport, however many decades have been invested in their obsession, know that boxing is sheerly madness for all its occasional beauty. That knowledge is our common bond, and sometimes, dare it be uttered, our common shame. To watch boxing closely and seriously is to risk moments of what might be called animal panic, a sense not only that something very ugly is happening, but that by watching it, one is an accomplice. This awareness or revelation or weakness or hairline split in one's cuticle of a self can come at any instant, unanticipated and unbidden, though of course it tends to sweep over the viewer when he is watching a really violent match. I feel it as vertigo, breathlessness, a repugnance beyond language, a sheerly physical loathing. That it is also, or even primarily, self-loathing goes without saying. For boxing really isn't metaphor, it is the thing in itself. I think the extreme nature of boxing is partly why it attracts and requires linguistic invention. I mentioned earlier that pre-20th century boxing spoke constantly of a boxer's flash and his bottom. Both were terms that were used to convey what we now usually refer to as a boxer's heart. And like the fancy, a boxer's heart both does and doesn't mean what the word suggests. A boxer's heart is only shown once he's been wounded or when he's struggling. It has to do with how badly he wants something and how and what he'll suffer to get it. To an outsider, it sometimes looks like desperation or masochism. But as Joyce Carol Oates has observed, contrary to stereotype notions, boxing is primarily about being and not giving hurt. Winning in boxing is always temporary and provisional. It is only guaranteed until the next contender comes along. Only the defeats in boxing are permanent.